Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, guys, what we're going to talk about on this episode, I know you guys are going to love, and it's going to put a smile on your face. Because what we're going to talk about is the newest fixation from the gun controllers, and the Democrats particularly, with Mexico and different states, like national states, suing the United States against our gun rights, like the manufacturers, individual states, gun sellers in those states. This seems to be the new push because nothing is a coincidence, and we're seeing more and more energy devoted to just that action. However, this is going to be one of the largest backfires, I'm saying it right now, on the Democratic platform that we've seen in a long time. Just give it some time. I'm going to walk you through it right now. But as we discussed, a big part of this channel is the Democratic pillars. They cannot stand together when you approach them on a whole platform. They can only stand by themselves, whether it be abortion, border security, gun rights. All of them conflict because they do not gel very well. And that's what we're about to see, and it's going to backfire in a big way in relation to guns in the different states suing us in different ways. Everything is linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Vulcan Arms, and then we're going to dive in, and again, I'm excited for this one for you. The Vulcan Weatherlock gun bag has one-of-a-kind technology which protects your gear from the elements. The Weatherlock technology is revolutionizing the way you store your firearms. Whether you're on a trip or a range or working out in the field, the Weatherlock series can stand up to the toughest of environments. We're talking these bags are water resistant, puncture resistant, dust resistant, mud resistant. They have an IPX6 rating. These things are going to keep your gear safe. There's a link in the description box below. It makes an amazing gift for the holidays, so check it out. And thank you so much to Vulcan Arms for making this video possible. Alright, my brothers and sisters, let's get to what was teased in the intro. We are going to dive into how this gun control push is going to cripple a Democratic main platform and backfire in a magnificent way. Check this out. As I said, everything is always linked. Let's dive in to Across the Pond in a Guardian article, because it actually does a pretty good job of exposing it on accident. How Texas's gun laws allow Mexican cartels to arm themselves to the teeth. So right out the gate, this is against gun manufacturers and gun sellers in Texas who are doing everything perfectly legally, but they're saying it's enabling cartels. Keep this in mind. One's in Mexico, one's in Texas. There's a thing right in the middle of there that you have to go over. See where I'm going? Let me know in the comments when you see where I'm laying this out. Governor Greg Abbott wants to make the border safe for his state, but loose gun laws allow cartels to drive to any Texas gun shop and legally stockpile guns, Mexican officials say. Well, there's only one little problem with that. You need to be a United States citizen to buy a firearm like that. You have to cross an international border. Oh. Starting to see the pillars now? Let's keep going, because there's a lot of stuff here which is going to make this unravel. So by all means, gun controllers, keep with this approach, because it's going to hurt a lot more than it's going to help. Here, check this out. Saying he wants to make the U.S.-Mexico border as safe as possible for his state, Texas Governor Greg Abbott last month signed an order designating Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations and urged the Joe Biden White House to do the same, which he's not going to, but whatever, that's not the point. The point is, the Guardian is trying to set up Greg Abbott as a hypocrite for making cartels a main point of contention, but also allowing loose gun laws that enable them. That's their whole point in this article, but it backfires. Check this out. But the same border that Abbott insists he wants to make safer is actually being destabilized by Texas's lax gun laws, which the governor defends and which the Mexican cartels exploit to arm themselves, legally, to the teeth, according to officials that left to grapple with the situation. Of course, they're not saying that there's an entire NICS background check system. The FBI does every single background check that is sold through these gun shops that they're talking about, but we can't talk about all those things because that will interfere with the point. Let's keep going because this is a thing. Here's the first point. Despite Mexico's well-documented high levels of violence, legally purchasing guns there is actually quite difficult. The nation is nearly 130 million people, has a single store that can legally sell guns. That's because it's a complete gun control state. The obvious elephant in the room is if you have a complete gun control state, why are you having problems with gun violence if you have a gun control state? It's just like you have Chicago, California, and New York blaming the states around them for the failure of their policies, because gun control, all it does is create an artificial market. And we're about to dive into that because it does not affect any of the criminals, only the law-abiding. As Pina Ortez has seen, there are many rifles styled after AK-47s that can be purchased relatively cheaply in the US for between $500 to $1,000, then taken to Mexico and resold at 3 to 4 times that value. In economics, that's an artificial market. You're artificially inflating the price because you've made a protected zone. If you can't sell guns legally there, you're going to have to sell them illegally there, just like New York, Chicago, or California. It's the exact same principle. Where there is a lack of supply but an increase of demand, the price is going to rise. It's very akin to drugs in the United States. They've been against the law forever. It doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. The point is, criminals are going to criminal. All it does is raise the price. In this scenario, gun control does not work. All right. The easy access to a legal inventory in Texas and then lucrative prices on the secondary market has flooded some Mexican border towns, including remarkably violent ones with guns. Again, there's that crossing of the border. Are you guys starting to see where the pillars are going to start coming down? Because the big key problem here is, while they're saying the problem that we need to sue these gun manufacturers is that it's coming across the border, or you could just stop things from going across the border. The pillars are going to start to fall because they cannot stand together. Check this out. Got some more for you. Here's my third point. Texas, at least currently, does not require a license of any kind to own a high-caliber rifle in its state limits. Anyone complying with federal requirements can legally purchase a high-caliber rifle in Texas upon turning 18. That's because they're a legal adult. They can buy firearms. They have the firearms right in America. They are United States citizens. They have those rights. Again, they're background checked by the FBI through a 4473 form through the NICS background check system. This entire thing is built on the perception of someone not knowing the laws in these states. This entire problem has been around high caliber rifles as perpetuated in this article, but then they go on to blame the fact that they can carry handguns without a concealed carry license. Now that gets into the next part, the license. The Guardian is actually advocating here for a national licensing scheme, because the only way that you're going to be able to know where every single firearm is if every single serial number is located back to a person in a national database or a registry, which is against the law, and that's not going to happen. This is where they're going. This is a straw argument, but in bringing this up, they're bringing up the border conversation. I'm not going to say accidentally. I think they know they're doing it, but it's going to backfire. And I got one more thing for you. This puts a nice little cherry on top. It's made it easier than ever to drive to any Texas gun shop and legally stockpile guns, whether or not the customers belong to a Mexican cartel. So the other thing here is, are you going to start profiling people? Oh, they turned 18, but they might be in the cartel. They look like they've been in the cartel. Even if they have no criminal record according to the FBI, even though they have no criminal flags popping up on the NICS system, even though you just got extended background checks on anyone from 18 to 21 in the bipartisan red flag law that just passed and Biden touted, all of these things, yeah, it's definitely the fact that Texas has more guns. It's not the fact that gun control is a failure. None of those things. And that sealing the border would solve these problems going both ways. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.